welcome back to Cold Waters. This is David Steele, and that is not my boat. Well, not yet anyway. In fact, that was a Russian submarine, so that's not going to be a boat. We're going to try something a little different today. I am going to go ahead and try a campaign pretty much right from scratch. And it's going to be a skipjack campaign, so it's going to be a challenge, let's just say. But I've also changed the difficulty, and I've moved from numpty level to, I suppose you might say, I guess, realistic level, I think is the next one. So say goodbye to the old save, that is numpty level, and say hello to the new one. Right, let's go ahead and kick things off. So let me see, I've got coffee, I've got water, I've even got snacks. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, it's a skipjack campaign, so a lot could go wrong. So there's my Skipjack-class. Basically, it's a 1959 vintage machine. It's I think it's December 1984 when the campaign starts. So it's small, it's nimble, it accelerates well. Not particularly well equipped in terms of weaponry, in terms of numbers, but does have really decent weapons. It's got the Mark 48 torpedo, and it's got Morse decoys. Anyway, it's an old submarine for the time period that we're playing in. So your disadvantages are your sensors aren't very good and you're kind of noisy. And a submarine that's generally about sneaking around and picking on the bad guys, that's not good. I mean, it looks kind of cool. It's got a very classic submarine shape. I guess this thing here is to do with the sonar spear. Oh, that's the Todari. I imagine, yeah, that's the Todari. So that's as long as the Todari is. So yeah, it's a nice looking boat. Let's hope I don't get to see it with a hole in the side. It's a bit fragile compared to the more modern submarines in the game as well. Right, well I'm going to go ahead and set. Yep, a USS Shark. A familiar boat to me. Congratulations and good luck. So, that's Ronald Reagan, now late former US president, and he's been voted in. I'm not going to go ahead and read this out loud or read the whole thing through, but the long and short are the Kremlin, the Russians, the Soviets believe that Reagan is a bit of a cowboy. They fear that his presidency is going to be controversial, rather than a little bit following on the footsteps of Jimmy Carter. Reagan doesn't like communism. Okay, and speaking of which, communism. So, stagnation and paranoia, Brezhnev, this I cannot say Brezhnev, I think that's how it's pronounced. Not even going to try. But the General Secretary died. He was ill for some time. I think he had a stroke and rumours, I think, of a heart attack. So, he's passed on. Who's going to be next? I mean, well, it's a Cold War game, but the Cold War gone hot, so I think we can guess what's about to happen, but okay. So, is Reagan pushing the Soviets too hard? And then the Soviets shoot down a South Korean airliner. So this thing really did happen. It pushed tensions up higher and higher. Pershings are deployed into West Germany. That's a tactical nuclear weapon. It basically means a shorter range, smaller bomb. But it's a nuke, so you'll have to be within 8 feet to hit your target. It's like an F-15C, maybe an F-15A, I'm not sure. Yeah, so the Soviets thought that a drill called Able Archer was real, put them onto high alert status. And the balloon goes up. The Russians come over the Iron Curtain and surge into the Fulda Gap of West Germany, and basically war starts. Negotiations end. I think the Russians or the Soviets were using gun barrels to negotiate their points, and the conflict starts. So this is where we jump into the submarine, pretty much. Yep, there we go. Okay, so top secret mission, 5th of November 1984, issued at 1600 hours or 4 p.m. Satellite reconnaissance has spotted enemy cruise missile submarines and several attack boats. Leaving from... what does it say? Let's see where they're leaving. Okay. Basically sink cruise missile boats. And it doesn't say where they're leaving, but reckons they're preparing to sail in the next 3 days, the next 72 hours. So locate and sink the enemy cruise missile submarines. There's no secondary objective showing here. Avoid enemy anti-submarine warfare patrols, and it says weapons free on designated targets. Okay. So basically, if it's highlighted red on the map, I'm weapons free on it. Right. I'm not even going to look to see. Well, you know what? I will actually. What have I got? Okay, 16 Mark 48, 6 loaded, and 2 Mosses. I want to reduce the Mark 48 a little bit and add small Mosses because these are useful. Let's go ahead and swap that one out. So I've got 1 Moss loaded, 5 torpedoes. Arguably, I could go with a second Moss here. It's actually tempting, but I'm not going to. And 20 noisemakers. Right, so let's do that. And that took a couple of hours to make that change. That was worth it. Right, let's go. Oh, where will they sail from? Typically Murmansk or Archangelsk. I don't know how that's pronounced. So basically, you've got a major Russian port here. And another port here. Gremnica, I'm not so sure how major that port is. And that might be a target. So I'm going to go and intercept that. Let's wait for them here. And they may have... yeah, okay. They headed slightly north into deeper water. So this could be good news. Let's see, we're 150 feet. We're heading 321. We're about the right direction. 10 knots. Why am I yawning? Right, let's go for it.
On sonar, new contact bearing 060, designated Sierra 1.
Contact 060.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 111, designated Sierra 2.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Let's go ultra quiet first of all. Let's just check out Sierra 1. Sonar contact number 1. What the heck is this? It looks like a Charlie too. Now it's important to get this right, because if you
sonar, new contact bearing 047, designated Sierra 3.
If you identify this correctly, it helps your crew assess the range, but that looks pretty much spot on. I'm leaning forward towards the monitor right now. That looks about spot on. Is there anything else it might be? Not a Sierra, I don't think. It could be a Victor 2. Yeah, I don't want to identify this right now. Let's look at Sierra 2. So Sierra 2 is a very different signature there. This might be a merchant vessel on the surface.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is cavitating.
So Sierra 1 is cavitating. So, alright, let's look at Sierra 3 then. Well, that looks like a Charlie. Charlie 2, I should say.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is
I'm calling Sierra
as
3 a Charlie 2.
Submarine.
We'll take a look at what that is in just a second. Right, Sierra 1. I don't think that's a Charlie, because looking at the waterfall here, there's a sound line here which is not lined up. So what else could that be? Might be a Victor 2. I think it is a Victor 2. That's bad news.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Sierra 2, do we even know what this is? Is it a submerged contact? It's not quite a Foxtrot, because look, that sound line needs to line up, but it's close. I don't know what that is.
Come right to 053.
I'm going to head northeast towards the two contacts I can identify. I'll worry about Sierra 2 a little bit later. This might come back and bite me in the backside. but I think right now those two they're both above the weak layer, the weak dot. So let's just go ahead and slip below that. Make these torpedoes active. Okay. With the game being that much harder, what I want to avoid is using accelerate time quite so much.
200 feet.
Okay, so we're just dropping below the sound layer. Let's see. What's their read on me? Sierra 1. It's not going to hear me. Okay, not passively at least. Active it might. CO3, poorer sensors there. Right, let's take a look at what we've got.
300 feet.
Actually want to stop the descent. Let's go. Victor 2 has shark teeth. What's this? Okay. That's a decent enough sonar. And set 65M. Seeker range of 1,500 yards. That's the important thing. That's very useful. And let's look at the Charlie 2. Same torpedoes, and he's got the ability. Yeah, he's got standoff. This guy doesn't have. So Victor 2 is less capable than I thought. The Charlie 2 is pretty capable. It's got a shark gill. Oh, that's good quality. Okay. Right. So the Charlie 2 is the bigger threat, because not only does he have standoff torpedo firing capabilities, but he's got much better sonar. The Victor 2, I think Sharp Teeth is still better than the system I've got, but less capable. Right, and got a bit more of a reading on Sierra 2. Let's see what's Sierra 2 then. Is it a submerged submarine? I don't think it is. Let's go through and look through the merchants while we're drifting towards these two pretty much known to be submerged submarines. So we've got a cruise missile carrier and an escort. The escort's got inferior sensors and weaponry to the cruise missile carrier. Oh, that must be a trawler.
Con sonar Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
Check their depth again. Yeah, so they're both above the duct. So their ability to hear me is impaired. Kind of like mine is to hear them. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to hear me. Now, range-wise, I don't...
sonar, new contact bearing 028. Designated Sierra 4.
Sierra 4 then. That's, it can be a little concerning when that happens, because you don't know if this is another submarine or just something in the distance that you sonar operators finally heard. It's pretty faint. Oh, that's not good. Victor 2's got a bit of a sniff of me. And Sierra 4 might be another Charlie. No, it's not. I've got a bad feeling about this. I think Sierra 4 has another Victor 2.
Sonar Sierra 4 is classified as submerged submarine.
It may be inferior to the Charlie 2. Yeah, he's pretty close. I think I want to tackle this guy. I'm getting a bit concerned about this. His active sonar, if I turn around, he's gonna... Yeah, he's coming right at me. Right, let's fire a single torpedo and make it run active.
Sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
That did that then.
Right. Sonar, launch transient from Sierra 4. Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Shoot tube 6. Aye, sir.
So, in very quick succession,
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4.
dropping my depth, turning hard to port.
We've lost the wire.
Dropped a
sonar
decoy.
lost contact. Sierra
Passing fire.
Con sonar no longer cavitating.
Do not want to
sonar
Passing
exceed my
600 feet.
test depth.
sonar noisemaker bearing 051.
Well, there's a lot going on, and he may just be about to pick me up. I think he is. Yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe not. He might. Okay, so this thing might be circulating and it may not go active and detect me just yet, but I'm going to run away from it. Hopefully we'll
Con
detect
sonar
my
lost
moss.
contact. Sierra 1, last bearing
Speaking of
0,
which, let's
2,
reload.
8. Contact is in the baffles.
Yeah, I think he's got
Con
whiff of me.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 2, 5.
Maybe. I decided there's something west I want to go and investigate, and this torpedo I hope is hunting this thing down, but it's not looking good right
Con
now.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 0,
His torpedo
2,
appears
7.
to have found the decoy, which is good. Unfortunately, so was mine. Or has it? Yeah, I think they both have. There's still a chance that
Con sonar, torpedo in the water,
Mm.
torpedo in the water, bearing 0,
that's my
3,
torpedo
5.
having picked me up. That's not good.
Con sonar lost
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay, I'm gonna... It's still tracking me. That's not good. I'm gonna reduce my depth a little bit. So... Wow, this thing's coming right
Passing
at me.
600 feet.
This is not a good way to start the campaign by getting picked up by your own torpedo.
room, tube 1 ready.
So I wonder if I can lead it back. Noisemaker, had a port.
Con, knuckle formed.
Let's give it a knuckle, and let's drop my depth to 700 feet. So,
Make depth 7, 0,
I'm going to try and
0
scrape the
feet,
paint off
bye
it.
bye.
I don't know that this is going to work, because these... this is a
Con
great
sonar
torpedo.
regained contact on Sierra 1,
Yeah, I don't think
bearing
this is gonna
0,
work. It's coming
6,
right at
4.
me.
Con, knuckle formed.
There's a knuckle. Okay, there's a knuckle. Right, I want to try really hard to bring this torpedo
Passing 700 feet.
towards either the decoy or the Victor 2. Victor 2. Okay, I'm running at depth right now. This thing is sneaking up behind me. He's about to pick me up again. I'll try and turn towards it and see if I can mitigate that just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to work very well. Oh,
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last.
Con, knuckle formed.
another knuckle.
Tube
Okay.
6 ready.
Yeah, I want to be turning more port. I want to be heading northeast. It's going to turn back towards me.
Con
That's
sonar regained contact on
That's
Sierra
fine.
1, bearing 0,
It's not fine,
6,
but, you know.
9.
another knuckle. Okay.
Con, knuckle formed.
So a knuckle, where you turn gently one direction and then you crank the rudder on in the opposite direction, and you create, I believe it's you squeeze the oxygen out of the air and create a whole bunch of bubbles,
God,
which
knuckle
temporarily confuses, in theory, the torpedo now where it doesn't work, like there, because you messed up the
Con,
angle.
knuckle formed.
The torpedo still gets the measure
Passing
of you.
600 feet.
This guy, yeah, he's picked me up again.
Con, knuckle formed. Passing 600 feet.
Oh, depth. Let's turn towards it and try and climb
Con
over it.
sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 3, 3, 7.
Right, so I'm going to try and chase its tail.
Passing
I'm
600
running out of options right now because they keep on detecting me. And there's two of them spiraling, and this guy's right on me. Oh boy. Let's drop one of those.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Right, so I see the Victor 2 to my east. Let's see if I can draw it, draw the torpedoes in that direction. Dive, come on. Get down.
Passing 500.
Con
They were-
sonar, no longer cavitating.
They were below me. Oh well, that's not going to work.
Passing 600 feet.
Yep, here he comes. I should hear both of them come.
Con, knuckle
A
formed.
knuckle.
Passing
And
700 feet.
what depth is the Victor at? Oh,
Passing
he's pretty high.
700 feet.
Yep. Okay, let's get my depth up.
Passing 600 feet. Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Good.
Passing 400 feet. Passing 300 feet.
So right on me. Oh, he must have got hit, which is
Passing
interesting.
200 feet.
But he's not the only one, I don't think, right now.
Con, knuckle formed.
Reef. So he must have been hit by something, and he's on the surface trying not to sink. That's one torpedo down. The other one's coming up right behind me.
Con, knuckle formed.
Let's drop my depth.
Passing 200 feet.
Increase my depth, I suppose I should say. I want to dunk down and see if we can just
Passing
escape
300 feet.
this torpedo sensor cone. I don't know that we're going to be able to.
400 feet.
Con sonar, regained contact on.
Passing 500 feet.
Yep, didn't work.
Con
Okay.
sonar, no longer cavitating.
Con, knuckle formed.
I have to exceed my
Passing
test depth
700
again.
feet.
There we go. Way to go, David.
Passing 700 feet.
Depth back up, I think. These constant depth changes, I think you want to have a permanent change to depth, but if I do that and there's two
Passing
torpedoes,
600 feet.
generally get myself shot from underneath me.
Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar,
to-
we are cavitating.
Passing 400 feet.
Another one.
Passing 300 feet.
Con,
Passing 200 feet.
Out to surface pretty
Passing
violently if I'm
100 feet.
not careful.
con sonar, regained
Okay,
contact
I think I
Sierra
avoided
4, bearing 3, 4,
Another
4.
noisemaker. Don't think that's going to be the most
Con
effective.
sonar, lost contact. Sierra
Nope.
4, last bearing 3, 4, 2.
Alright.
Contact is in the baffle.
Pretty close for a knuckle, but
Con, knuckle formed.
it worked. Right, come on. See this, Victor? You can see it. It's right there. Go for it. Go on. Dang it! Come on.
Con, knuckle formed.
Drop my
Passing
depth.
100 feet.
Okay. Come on. Almost.
Passing 200 feet. Passing 300 feet.
I'm going as quickly as this Victor too, so I don't know if he really is that badly damaged or not. Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, he has a hole in his flank. Not a small hole. I've seen bigger holes than that in the side of a submarine and they've been fine. But I don't think he is fine. He's clearly had enough. And this torpedo, I need this torpedo to follow me. The one are you kidding me? So the one time. Oh, what's this thing doing? It's turning around. Oh, okay. It does still have my sense.
Con sonar, lost contact.
That's
Sierra
great.
4, last bearing 3, 2, 9. Contact.
Con, knuckle
Another
formed.
knuckle. I think I'm too far away to accomplish what I want to do.
Make depth
Go up
4
to
by, main
periscope
dive by.
depth. Well, what I want to do is throw the torpedo off me, and then the Victor 2 is a juicier target than I am. Right now, that's not working.
Con, knuckle formed.
That knuckle didn't seem to do anything either. Still tracking me. So maybe I want to do a right to left. Starboard to port.
Con,
try
knuckle
that.
formed.
With a knuckle. Right, so that's throwing him more towards the Victor 2. So he's going to come back. Is he going to detect the Victor 2 before he detects me? And this is the moment of truth, and no, he's not. So he's right back on my tail. Another
Con,
knuckle.
knuckle formed.
Alright, now he's turning
Con,
north.
dive
And
at
that's not what I
4-5
want.
feet, dive high.
I may have to have a sip of coffee at this point. I'm getting very dry again. Clearly is a bit nervous about what's happening here. Okay, let's try yet another knuckle.
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay, so that's kind of what I want. Need him to detect the victor first, and he's just not. So he's going to turn around and have at me again. Right, let's go hard to port. Yep, there he goes.
Con, knuckle formed.
Alright, let's try and reduce my depth. And try and get below his sensors. I don't know that this is going to work, because it hasn't worked so
Passing
far.
100 feet.
There's a noisemaker to try and disguise me. A noisemaker can hide you, it's
Passing
like a
200
barrier.
feet.
If I get this right, it will turn towards me, see the
Passing 300
noisemaker.
feet.
It's seen right through it.
Passing 400 feet.
Well, that's just great. Oh, okay, now.
Passing 5.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Right, so it actually turned away from me. I guess it couldn't really see through it. It was just trying to call my bluff. Well, it works,
Con
torpedo.
sonar, we are cavitating.
Con,
Yeah.
knuckle formed.
Great. Come on.
Passing 400 feet.
I don't like the fact that this thing's going to turn towards my flank. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, I may have to, another knuckle.
Con, knuckle formed.
I don't think that my plan's going to work. I think I'm just going to have
300 feet.
to, hey, there we go. Run my torpedo
Feet
out
at
of fuel.
4-5
Okay.
feet, dive high.
So, I think what I've got to do now is drop a torpedo
Back emergency,
in this
maneuver
guy's
guy.
butt.
Con sonar, no longer
So to speak.
cavitating.
Rig ship for ultra
So
quiet.
we'll do that. It's got my speed down,
Main turns
and
forward,
let's
5
launch.
knots. Maneuvering
Like
on.
so.
Con sonar regained
Thing's
contact
gonna go
on
immediately
0-2,
active.
bearing. Come
And
left 2,
I
0.
have realised
Con
I
sonar,
left
we are cavitating.
the stove on at home and need to go somewhere else. Now this torpedo, I'm going to lose the
Con
wire.
fire control,
There we
we've
go.
lost the wire.
I don't care. This torpedo is going to hack and track at Victor
Passing
2.
100 feet.
Who's got it coming? Because he's been teasing me for long enough. Right. I think I want to
Passing
head
200 feet.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing.
Got something
1,
else.
7, come left 2, 3, 2, 2, helm
Didn't
I.
realise I got the Victor 2. Or something got
Passing
Victor 2. It
400
may not have
feet.
been me.
Con sonar, lost contact.
Passing 500 feet.
I'm turning opposite direction. I need to take out this
Con
channel
sonar,
2, which is
no
of course
longer
my
cavitating.
objective. So,
Con sonar, regain.
Passing 600 feet.
let's see if this torpedo can do me proud. That's looking good so far. Right up the nostril. I think it's just missed.
Con sonar, lost
Hey.
contact. Sierra, 1, last bearing, 1, 7, 9.
Comrades.
Contact breaking up.
We shall drink to you tonight. Right. And now we are going to go and hunt down the Charlie 2, and I think it's over here.
Come
Let's
right
put that
2,
active
0,
sonar ping. I'm
0,
just seeing.
8, helm I.
So that was
Con,
pretty.
helm, steady course.
That was pretty intense. I did not think I was going to make it through that. There's a lot going on around me, and a lot of torpedoes that were hunting me, including my own, and that's never a good thing. Right, let's go ahead and drop to 5. In fact, let's go
Rig ship
run
for ultra quiet.
ultra quiet. I think I want to see if I can track down this Charlie 2. I think it's to my northeast. Let the speed bleed off. Meanwhile, in the real world, we are under a potential tornado warning this evening as I record. So I'm going to go ahead and just check the Check the
Con
weather
sonar
forecast.
regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 187.
Okay, that's the trawler. Right, well, nothing to worry about there. It looks like the tornado chance is diminishing as I speak, but yeah, you don't like the idea of a tornado warning. Okay, I'm not seeing anything or hearing anything right now, so I'm going to get my depth to
Make depth 150 feet. Dive
150. Let's see if we can pick something up. And I suspect that this choicey, delicious little snack is going to make lots of rustling noises. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my microphone as we climb through the crushing black depth and hopefully detect this Charlie contact. I'll be back.
Come left to 340, helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
I've got a sneaky suspicion that there might be two targets out there, because I definitely saw sonar ping heading more from the northwest as well as the northeast. I've stayed a bit more northwest because I really want to see if I can no, let me rephrase that. My towed array, it's useful if that happens to be more of the microphones pointing towards the
Make depth
sound of the
100 feet.
source.
Dive I.
Ideally, you want to run parallel to it, but that's not necessarily going to be possible here. With that said, we'll steer a little bit more west. Say it's pinging me, but I think it's such a distance away that we're not getting anything from it. That may have stopped. Okay, I'm going to go active.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
We may not detect it, but we may get a response, a reaction from it. Might drop torpedoes at me. Responding at least. It's pinging me back.
Con, dive at 100 feet. Dive I.
Nothing. There's another response. Is it possible that he's
Make
below
depth
the dot
300
in
feet.
the
Dive
layer?
I.
I wonder. Let's increase the speed of my depth, I think. My dive, even. Let's drop below this layer rather quicker if I'm able to.
Passing 200 feet.
Okay. That's kind of implying that he's
Make depth
I wouldn't
250
say
feet. Dive
close,
I.
but
Come right to 047, helm I.
possible that, yeah, there was another ping. Is it possible that we've got the ocean floor on the waves? I think it gets a little shallower here, but no, I don't think it is. Alright, I'm not picking anything up.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
I think what I want to do is go ahead and basically sprint and drift. So I'm going to drop my depth to maybe 600 feet and increase my speed.
Make turns for 10
and
maneuvering eye.
run north.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2.
Passing 300 feet.
Yeah, run north to get a little closer to where this this target is. So I'll go ahead and pause the video.
Passing
I will be
400 feet.
back when I have something a little bit more definitive, I think.
Make
'Cause right
depth
now,
650
You're going to
feet,
be
dive
watching
by.
a screen of me blundering around in the crushing depth in the ocean, not detecting anything. So, yep, I'll go ahead and pause it, and I'll be right back, hopefully with some positive news. Okay, welcome back, and we've finally picked something up. We've traveled quite a distance, and it reckons we're 8,000 yards away right now. Depth-wise, it's about the 650 point level. I was changing my depth a little bit as I approached this. I don't know how fast it's moving, but I suspect he's moving, well, I'm going to say 8 knots, but that's just because that's what the Russian boats tend to do. He is seemingly moving away from me, so I'm going to go ahead and
Con sonar, switching to active search.
give him an active ping or two. See if that provokes him. Yeah, he's definitely moving away from me. Let's go ahead and present my flank so he gets an idea how close I am, and that might provoke him to come and investigate and shoot me. The fact that I can see him, I'm also discounting there's nothing else out there, but I've seen nothing else other than this trawler. So maybe, just maybe, our Soviet friend come out to play. "9,000 yards though, that's a bit of accelerate time here, I think. He's still pulling away from me. Well, I think
Come left to 004. Helm
he can do
high.
24 knots, I can do 30, so I'm going to go ahead and just crank on
Make
to
turns
30 knots.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Let's see if we can catch up with him, get a little closer, because I suspect he's doing 24 knots. He is fleeing the scene. And rightly
Con
so,
sonar,
because the
lost
scene,
contact. Sierra 3. Con.
Passing 500 feet.
Con
he's
sonar,
seen his,
no longer cavitating.
his two buddies get destroyed by a... What I'm only
Passing
supposing
600
is...
feet.
He's like, is that really a skipjack? Surely not. Oh, yes it is. So, just want to accelerate time. It's 2,000 yards.
Maneuvering. Making turns for 30 knots.
4,000 yards about now. I'm heading right towards him. 6,000 yards traveled, almost 8,000 yards traveled. Let's go ahead and reset the map. Dink. I think he's moving away from us, because if he was moving east to west or west to east, that sonar ping would move more. I'm heading right at him. Yep, still right at him. Okay, let's remove accelerate
ship for
time,
ultra
go
quiet.
back to ultra quiet. As my speed drops, I'm going to turn on my active sonar. Let's accelerate time again.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
There he is. Okay, You're at 600 feet depth. Oh, you're close. You're closer. And you're doing 90 knots.
2-1. Aye, sir.
My torpedo's going quicker than you. You're okay. You're 11,000 yards. I don't think I've got the legs for this. But we'll see.
Turns for 30 knots.
If he's got any sense about him, he put it into passive mode. He's not going to turn. Let's see if he
fire
turns.
control, we've lost
that's
Sonar
fine.
lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 004.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 30
Turn my active
knots.
sonar off. This feels a little dangerous, but we're a skipjack,
Sonar,
Captain.
noisemaker bearing
Okay,
005.
That got his attention. Let's go ahead and break port. Break to port. Like so. What we're going to do is we're going to crank it off to... It's going to keep it to our right side. We're going to crank off to the right. And see... We know his location. Question is, where is my torpedo? I don't think my torpedo has made it to him. I think it ran out of fuel. If I slow down to investigate, then I'm giving his torpedo a chance to take lead or lag pursuit or otherwise get on my case about it. It's the range of his torpedoes, I
Sonar,
think.
noisemaker bearing 008.
1,500 yards. So I gotta be a full assuming he's not guiding his torpedoes, I gotta be a full square to the east or west to be out of range of his torpedoes, because the torpedoes will turn around and arc towards me. So I would say that is about a full square worth. Let's go ahead and
Come right to
north.
000.
Rig ship for
Let's
ultra quiet.
drop to ultra quiet and just listen. We should pick him up if he's maneuvering and if he's traveling at high
Steady
speed.
course. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 3 bearing 014.
Still in one piece. That I think is my torpedo, and I'm about 5,000 yards. Oh wow, I'm about 5,000 yards away. So I actually don't want to be here. I want to be all the way over to the west.
Make turns for
I'm not going to mess around
maneuvering
here.
eye.
That was a very nasty experience with those torpedoes. So I gotta. And so my torpedo may have detected something. Yeah, I think it's hunting him, which is great, but I do not need to be in the vicinity of these torpedoes in the slightest.
Con helm steady course.
Let's crank it on to 30 knots. Let's head west. And I'm sure that he's going to detect me doing this. He's probably got his hands full evading a Mark 46 or 48. Two of those torpedoes behind me are active.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing
Sonar,
019.
He's making a lot of noise right now. I probably put enough distance between me to start turning port back towards the Charlie 2. Be sure that that torpedo's behind me. So why would a torpedo
Con
ever slow
sonar
down?
noisemaker.
Con maneuvering, making
He has
turns.
got his
Rig
hands
ship for
full.
ultra
I gotta drop my speed very quickly now.
Back
because I don't want to
emergency,
get too
maneuver
close
guide.
to my own torpedo. That would not be good. And it would not be the first time in this battle either. Okay.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Right, so let's see what this torpedo is doing. It's hunting something. I don't know how much fuel it's got left, so it may run out of fuel at some point. And we're still 4,000 yards away. It's got a 3,000 yard detection range. I don't think I want to get any closer, actually.
Back emergency. Maneuvering eye.
In fact, that's not good news. That's
Con
4,000 yards
maneuvering,
away.
Making turns for 5 knots.
I am deep, but still. Yeah, I don't want to get close to this. This would not be a fun way. It was me hanging here in the water. I'm not moving anywhere.
Turns for 0 knots.
Takes me a bit of time to get up to speed to try and evade this torpedo, and I don't know that it'll truly believe that a Moss is a better target than me. Yes, it may be not as deep as I am, but that enemy submarine is dropping depth. Jump 7.5, 8,000 yards estimated. It might be a little closer than that.
Noisemaker bearing
Yeah, I think it is.
028.
So another torpedo can certainly support this one, assuming I need to, and I'll fire another one if I need. But right now, I don't need to go anywhere. I can just watch from a distance with this wonderful sensor screen. It's hanging here in the water. Is there any chance that this thing... Yeah, so active sonar, the Charlie 2 might pick me up. The passive, it's really not. And if it does pick me up with his active sonar, he's got his hands full to do anything about it. I'm sure he's traveling quickly, so he can't fire upon me.
Noisemaker bearing 035.
May even get a good enough fix so I can watch this. Maybe. Yeah, I just don't want to get close. I've done this before. There's been a torpedo chasing a submarine, and I've crept a little too close, and the Russian submarine has managed to snake off the torpedo, and it's tracked on me and sunk me. I think I'm perfectly comfortable here.
Con sonar, noisemaker
Yay!
bearing
Got it.
028.
Ew. Congratulations, that felt like a tough kill. He did the right thing, in the sense of he ran, which probably was the right thing to do. Should he have turned around to fire at me?
Come left to 270.
Almost certainly knows that I'm capable of doing 30 knots to his 24, so he knew he couldn't run away from me forever. But I would eventually run out of torpedoes.
Making turns for 5 knots.
So maybe he could have...
Con sonar, switching to active search.
What choice he's really got there. I've been in a similar situation where I can't outrun the enemy submarine. I've just switched to active sonar. Let's see if there's anything around that... anything else for me to kill? I don't know that there is. No. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and
switching to passive search.
see if I can quit the battle. It's a pretty good sign. I wonder what the command is to remove my HUD. That'd be a pretty good image for the screenshot, for the thumbnail. Right, let's go ahead and quit this battle. Leave combat. Oh, I got all 3. Okay. I'm happy with that. So, that's mission number 1 complete. Congratulations on a job well done. You're very welcome. Let's see what happens next. Convoys are protected, yep. Alright, so apparently we've helped the war effort. We've reduced the convoy strikes. Well, we've taken out a cruise missile submarine, so yeah, it should help a little bit. Okay, next mission. We're going after tenders and tankers. So resupply ships, and these can be very difficult because you can tackle with surface warships and submarine warships, and of course the target is a tender or a tanker, and I don't carry harpoons. So harpoons' great advantage is you can fire them at long range, because as soon as the Soviet merchant navy or the Soviet resupply ships detect you, they bug out. Quite rightly so. Right. So, 1 or 2 of these ships expected to sail from Murmansk momentarily for a rendezvous near the Barents Sea. Find and sink this group. So, primary target are those resupply ships, the tenders and tankers. Okay, and sink nearby submarines. So, we should expect surface warships and submarines. Right, well, it's an anti-submarine warfare patrol here. I'm sure, and another submarine patrol. I'm going to slip to the south. No, I'm not. I got detected. That's bad. This could be really bad. Alright, oh well. Teach me.
Con, sonar, lost contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Yeah, let's go ultra quiet immediately. 265. We're actually heading towards whatever it was that we can detect. I'm actually going to head west.
Come right to
270.
270.
Because
Helm
that's
aye.
deeper water. Not that we need the deeper water right now, because we might. Oh no, something got a good signal, a good return on me.
Con, sonar, launch transient
Yep.
from.
Whatever the heck
Passing
that was,
600 feet.
it detected me.
Make
Oh,
turns
boy.
for 30 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con,
Right,
come
let's
right
fire.
to. Con, sonar, launch transient from.
Shoot 26. Aye, sir.
Okay, so that's
Come
got
right
to
to
moss out.
0,
I have no
5,
idea what I'm
6,
tackling
Helm
here.
aye.
And
Con,
a
sonar,
torpedo
we are
heading in his
cavitating.
direction too. Yep, I'm not surprised I'm
Passing
cavitating.
400 feet.
It's because I'm excreting some gaseous fluids. No, not gaseous fluids, that's nasty. I'm farting. I'm scared. I don't like the sound of this. That's a nasty way to describe what was happening.
Beach depth 500 feet.
Right,
Bye.
so I'm gonna track on with this this decoy. We're gonna head northeast, more or less. Good grief! Wow, that was a little unexpected. Okay, so my torpedo's gone active. Good. That's what we want. And I am going to be able to outpace my decoy, which is down there, a little deeper than me. And can I see what's behind me? Not really.
Con, sonar, noisemaker, bearing 264.
It's a
Passing
noise maker.
500
Okay.
feet.
Con, sonar, no longer cavitating.
I mean, to be fair, we're making that much
Con,
noise
maneuvering.
that
Making turns for 30 knots.
you just want to be a little out of the way with this decoy as a I guess a kind of shield. So I'm going to turn port.
Con, fire control,
No.
weapon.
Con, sonar,
Starboard.
noisemaker,
I'm going to turn
bearing
right,
2,
cross in
6,
front,
3.
and then head south. And as I head south, I'm going to put myself into ultra quiet mode. Let's go ahead and do that now. It's turning towards it. I guess we'll watch it from this view because we can. And
Rig
ultra
ship for
silent
ultra
mode,
quiet.
ultra quiet mode even. And then let's tell it we want to head south.
Come right to 180. Helm aye.
Well, the idea here is, and I've just seen some torpedoes up here that might ruin my plan. We wanted to use the decoy as like a shield, but they weren't
Con,
following me.
sonar, noisemaker, bearing 269.
Oh, okay.
Con, sonar, new come left
That's
to
why.
058.
Yep,
Helm aye.
messed that one up.
Make
So,
turns
oh,
for
3 torpedoes out on me.
knots. Maneuvering
Okay.
aye.
Okay, come on.
Come left to 039.
Yeah, bad
Helm
idea.
aye.
Misjudged that completely. I mean, the idea I thought was sound, but the execution was so bad you might want to call Thunderbirds. Yeah.
Con, sonar, lost
Oh.
contact. Sierra 1.
That was
last
pretty.
bearing 273. Contact breaking up.
And that must have been him. So that's
Con,
great.
helm, steady course.
I took care of
Con,
Sierra
drop
1.
your room.
even
2-1
though
ready.
Sierra 1 was. Oh, that might be a kilo. Which is a very quiet diesel-electric boat. Not a hybrid. Runs its diesels when it can to recharge the batteries. These things are very quiet and very sneaky. The clue is that it doesn't have a fin on top, just underneath. But now it's on the bottom of the seabed. And it's an X kilo, I believe. I may have that wrong. It has a big hole in the side. Oh, not that big a hole. It has a hole in the side. Right. Meanwhile, I've more or less put myself out of danger here. That's 2,000
Con,
miles difference. So
maneuvering. Making turns for 30 knots.
if it was a kilo, what's the range of its weapons? I think they've got the best sensors and the best weapons. Test 71s. 1650 yards. Okay, so I'm actually out of range. That's just out of range. That's good. Why tell me it's just circling and not detected me. So a good call on dropping the moss, because had things have been a little different, moss would have been incredibly useful to try and distract the torpedoes, because they would be on my skipjacky tail. Right, now there's no guarantee that there's nothing else left.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So let's go back to ultra quiet mode and let's head west. A few seconds. I'm gonna reduce my depth to maybe 400
Passing
feet.
500 feet.
Actually, I'm below a dock now. So what I want to do is use my active sonar. I want the towed array out, but I'm going to be able to at this distance, this depth, so that's good. The towed array needs a little bit of depth underneath you and the seabed, otherwise it drags the microphone along the bottom and creates more noise than a toddler having a tantrum in your wardroom. Let's go active.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Is there anything out there?
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Figured out it was a kilo, which is good. It's nice to take one of those out. There's one less to tackle with later on in the game, and it was quite an accident. Anything had it jumped in my shorts. I was very lucky to have gotten away with that. Right, I think there's nothing else out there.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
So I'm going to go ahead and just
turns for 1,
go
0,
northwest,
knots,
and
maneuvering on.
I'll run accelerate time. I think I'm pretty safe here.
Con, helm, steady course.
Torpedoes are still running active, but they're not really a threat right now. There's nothing to guide them towards me. The moss is it could have been incredibly useful. As it happened, it wasn't, but it could have been. So I'm glad I deployed it, just in case. Grief, these torpedoes are long-lived. Right.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Great. Let's go ahead and leave combat. So, yep, just 1 kilo. He got the jump on me. I was lucky to have gotten away with that so cleanly. Right. I want to avoid these patrols if I can. And I think I'm going to loiter here, maybe. Submarine, he's a potential threat. So we'll move. There we go. I reckon that's my... Oh, yeah, that's my target, and everything saw me.
Con sonar, lost contact. Last bearing.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
It's 222, which is this direction.
Come left to 228, helm aye.
Drop our depth to 400 feet.
Make depth 400
So I
feet.
guess this was a
dive
submarine contact, because well, I might be wrong. Which means that the tenders are still to the north. So at least now, maybe I can take out the submarines before I tackle the Russian surface warships. Oh, that's useful. I am going to run a bit of accelerate time here because I'm not sensing anything, but this may be a kilo, another kilo, in which case this could get quite unpleasant quite quickly. Yeah, let's prepare my torpedoes to run active and have my active one, the Moss, just in case I need it. Right, accelerate time. So far, nothing.
Con, helm, steady course.
Nothing at all. Okay. So I can either go active and ping and detect whatever this is and then have to deal with it, Or I can try and leave the battle. Let's try and leave the battle and see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Couple of Romeos. I could have taken them on, but I'm happier not to. Yep, I know. My mission target is here. I'd pursue. Now they normally slow down or stop. Okay. Oh, some action world news. Denmark has surrendered. That's not good news. Okay. Something detected me, but I don't know what it was. It might be a submarine.
Con sonar new.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Let's go ahead and see what Sierra 1 is. I'm
Con
able
sonar
to.
new contact
There's
bearing.
multiple.
1,
Okay.
6, 4. Designated Sierra 2. Con sonar new contact bearing. 1, 4, 1.
That is
Designated Sierra
that's
3.
a lot of time. This might be the resupply. Looks like a warship. Yeah, I think that's a Grisha 3.
Con sonar Sierra 1 is classified as escort.
So Sierra 3 might be tender. Cannon, okay.
Con sonar Sierra 3
So
is
is Sierra
classified as
2
escort.
a resupply ship or another warship? Oh, I think that's a Dawn.
Con sonar Sierra
Alright.
2 is classified as merchant.
Well, that's good. That's actually useful. So, okay, so it looks like we've found our primary target. Let's drop my depth a little bit. And let's see what happens here. So, I'm presenting, probably presenting my side on to the active sonars of these two warships, and
Passing
that
200 feet.
it's going to help them detect me. Now, I think I can take on a couple of warships, but if they detect me, the Dawn is going to make a break for it. And they're actually heading towards me as well. Okay, I'm going to turn south. I do not want them to detect me early. I really want to get my torpedo out, or torpedoes out first. I think the Dawn should be my primary target, but it's also not a threat. Tackling with our threats first. Which one of these is a bigger threat then? These things first.
Come left
Let's
to
take that.
180. Helm I.
So cannon has set 65s. Is that a what? 800 yards? 900 yard range, okay. Not too big a deal. And it's got a sonar. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, the Grisha is by far the bigger threat. There's 71Ms and rocket launch torpedoes. Yeah, he's my threat. Does cannon have rocket launch torpedoes? Yes, it does. Okay. They can both drop rocket launch torpedoes in my lap or in my shorts. Either way. So cannon's estimated moving at 13 knots, and the Grisha 3 seems to have got whiff of me.
Con, helm, steady course.
That's not great. I think I want to reposition, but it's gonna. Here's my plan, right? I'm gonna go ahead and fire a torpedo at this guy immediately, because hopefully gonna stick with the wire and in place.
Shoot
Yes,
2-1.
I think the Dawn
Aye,
is
sir.
gonna make a break for it. Its max must be the 17 knots. I can catch it. By him. The Grisha I cannot catch, and he's up to 30 knots, so this torpedo, we're going to fire it in his direction, and I'm going to guide it in. Now, if he becomes too slippery to deal with, then I'm going to tackle the Dawn, or possibly even the cannon with it. But right about now, I think what I really want to do is present a smallest target as I can, while getting a reasonable return with my passive sonar. So I'm going to turn slightly to port, like so. Use some of the rear microphones to hopefully get a better reception on this Grisha 3. I'm happy with my depth so far. What am I at? 230 feet, yep. Well, a little deeper, but only a little. Okay. I think the Dawn might be turning away already. 12 knots, maybe not. Cannon's not been alerted. The Grecian still cranking on 31 knots. He's up to his top speed, I think. Turning away. Right. I'll track my torpedo towards him. Hey, there we go. Look at that.
Con,
Right.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Close enough to be a target. Right, and
Con
juicy.
sonar, noisemaker bearing.
Yep,
1,
that's okay.
8, 6.
I'm gonna manually guide you. Look at the angle dangle there. Yeah, look at him getting away from me, I should say. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, fine. Well, we'll circle back then. Right, we're actually going to attack from the front quarter, I think. Yeah, he's agile. But I'm more agile,
Con
and I'm
sonar,
faster too.
noisemaker bearing. 2,
And there
0,
goes a
0.
noisemaker, so we'll again attack from the front quarter. So let's turn back in towards him. Surprise! Okay, come on. You gonna get him? No. I clearly cannot, for the sake of everything that I need to do, tank this guy very
Con sonar,
effectively.
noisemaker bearing. 1.
Passing 300 feet.
Con, fire control, weapon
Right.
acquired.
Did you get him? No, no, no. Wait, why are you turning away? What? Why are you turning away? Okay, come on. Right, now you can turn around and tackle him again. He's heading towards me. Meanwhile, I'm gradually turning my submarine more to port. I want to aim
Con,
towards
fire
the Dawn.
control,
Okay,
weapon
got
acquired.
it. Right. Right. Now's a good time. You can take him out.
Con
You gonna get him?
sonar, noisemaker bearing.
get him?
2,
No.
0, 3. Con sonar,
Thank
lost
you.
contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 2, 0,
Sorry,
1.
Ivan.
Contact breaking up.
Right, so I got the cannon's undivided attention. I am not surprised. So let's launch on this guy.
Shoot
What's
2,
that?
4. Aye, sir.
And I want to turn towards the Dawn.
Come left 2, 1, 4, 3, helm aye.
I'm happy with my speed right now. Oh, interesting. Okay. He's firing a torpedo at me, and they
Con,
are
helm, steady course.
worryingly good enough torpedoes. So I'm going to turn away and head towards the Grisha 3 wreckage, whilst diverting my torpedo a little bit to the south. Like so. So I think these torpedoes are going to be aiming for somewhere around about here, and that's 3,000 yards away from me right now. But hey, there's nothing wrong with making that distance just a
Come right
little
2,
bit
2,
bigger.
0, 2,
Especially as
helm
this
aye.
guy's arcing towards me. I think. Let's make this torpedo live. Like so, because when they're live, they run quicker, but they have the same endurance in terms of time. I think it's a flaw with the game. Their endurance would be less because they're burning more fuel, but the game doesn't take that into account. So let's run that torpedo towards, and this so far is going textbook. It's going great.
Con, helm, steady course.
That's a torpedo coming towards me. I'm going to increase my speed
Make
to 10
turns
knots.
for 1, 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I don't really want to be in his sensor cone, because that. Yes, I can almost certainly avoid it. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that the time it takes me to avoid it gives the Dawn time to get further away from me, and then it's more time to track and hunt that thing down. And there may be other targets out here as well. We already encountered a couple of Romeos, and there may be others. So yeah, I want to get out of. Okay, he's gone live. So I'm maybe 4,000 yards away. I should be good. How quickly is this cannon moving at? 32 knots, okay. Can you even go that fast? Okay, they can. 34 and a half. That'll be wide then. think I can increase my speed to 15 knots. I might be cavitating, but he's too busy dealing with something else to worry about that right now.
Make turns for
Don't think
5 knots.
it will
Maneuvering
kill
aye.
my ability to guide the torpedo. So let's turn back on
Come
onto
left
course.
2, 1,
So
4, 0. Helm aye.
this torpedo is going to detect the
Con
cannon
sonar,
very soon.
noisemaker bearing 1, 2,
Yep.
8.
Not yet, but very, very close. And then it's just going to get guided all the way to the target. That should take care of it. Okay. Cannon's turning away. Let's
Con, helm, steady course.
okay. Yep, I know. It's a noisemaker. You don't like noisemakers. I know. Just
Con, fire control,
thank
weapon
you. Just
acquired.
push through it.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Push
1,
through it,
2,
right?
9.
Come on. Okay, all right. We'll turn east, and then we'll turn back in. Stop trying to fight me, torpedo.
Con,
Stop.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay. It's going to happen again, though. So I suspect this guy has got a huge angled angle right now. Yep. Look at that. He's turning very tight, very hard. Understandably so, because under the surface just here is a torpedo gunning right at him. And he's about to drop a noisemaker, and we're about to make contact. He's turning away from me. That was a mistake. He should have turned towards me.
Con sonar, noisemaker
Too
bearing
late.
1, 2, 3.
Too late, Junior. Big
Come
boom.
left 2, 1, 3,
Right.
4. Helm aye.
Let's crank on.
Make
get
turns
my-
for
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
I'm not going to worry too much about my depth right now. Let's go ahead and reload these torpedo tubes, and it reckons 11,000 yards. So, as we say goodnight to this Russian destroyer, and let's go ahead and concentrate on us, because we've got something to catch. Right. Well, I'm going to assume that there's nothing else out here that's going to tackle me. Now, this could lead to my downfall, but let's go ahead and accelerate time. It could be very unpleasant if something happens. Let's find out. Alright,
con maneuvering. Making
catching
turns
it, thank
for
goodness.
30 knots.
but the
Con,
water's
torpedo
going to be
room
getting
2-4 ready.
shallower. Let's go to 100 feet. We're already capitating. It's going to be fine.
100 feet, dive aye.
There we go.
Con, dive at 100 feet, dive aye.
Intercept.
Come left 2, 1, 2, 3.
Slightly.
Helm
Let's cut
aye.
the corner there. Only 7,000 yards away. I want to be a little closer to him, though. I kind of feel bad for the crew of this Don, but they knew what they were signing up for. At least they should have known what they were signing up for. 5,000 yards. Still doing 17 knots.
Come right 2, 1, 3, 0.
Yep.
Helm aye.
Steaming away from me. What's he got on his deck? Whoa. He does have guns. It says B-34 guns, but that's 2 on the front. Those look like anti-aircraft guns. They are not anti-aircraft. Well, that's a threat. And then, well, 2 more on the back. Okay, so he may be. My guess is a warship. Oh, it's actually obvious he's got guns. It's right on the image. He may be a warship. Is there any information about him? No. Alright, well, it's going to be an X-warship soon. It's going to be a submarine. But we're still 4,500 yards away, so let's continue the pursuit. We're catching up pretty quickly. Yeah, he's capitating away. And he looks like he's turned away slightly. That works for me. Go ahead and drop my speed to...
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
oh, look at that. I'd say to 10 knots, but he's turned sharp. What's he doing? Oh, I guess he's trying to
Con maneuvering. Making turns
Trying to
for
avoid,
1,
so
0
sorry.
knots.
Not gonna let that
Con,
happen.
fire control, weapon acquired.
I'm going to go ahead and turn hard to port, drop my depth to 300 feet, give or take.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
And,
Con, fire control, we've lost
beautiful
the
shot,
wire.
look at that. Yep, we lost the wire, that's completely fine.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last
Passing 200 feet.
Right, well I reckon that was the last ship in this engagement. So, is there an X ship? Let's wait for this thing to reload.
Come
This
left
torpedo.
085.
In fact,
Helm
no.
aye.
Let's be aggressive. Let's use my
Con
active sonar.
sonar, switching to active search.
Rig ship for ultra quiet. Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Okay, it's good to know. Oh yeah, that's a big chunk of ice. Is it resting on the bottom? Well, either
Con,
way,
helm, steady course.
yeah, either way, we're gonna make like a tree and get out of here. And is there anything else?
Come left 342. Helm aye.
Nope.
Con sonar,
Right.
switching to passive search.
This torpedo is nearly loaded, and then we're gonna quit the battle.
room, tube 1 ready.
Okay. Alright, let's leave battle. We got all three. So I think that's a good place to stop today's video. Successfully played through. The difficulty level is now at realistic as opposed to numpty level. And yeah, the first battle was a little touch and go, let's just say, but things improved from there. So if you're watching this video and you've been watching my my skipjack missions, and you've patiently told me all the places where I've utterly messed up, and now you're seeing some improvement, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I would not have guessed that a game like this would be so interactive with people online who point out your big mistakes and give you lots of advice on how to fix it. So thank you so much again for contributing. It's appreciated. I feel like I've come a long way, and the biggest thing is how much more I've got yet to learn. So thank you ever so much for hanging out and watching today's video, and if you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and drop a depth charge, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much everyone, take it easy. Goodbye.